pointed it out.
Bob Day and Ed Hebert down on the field for the second game of the 1994 season. The Ruston Bearcats visiting the ElDorado Wildcats. And let's go down to the field for Ed Hebert for the coin toss, if you can pick it up, Ed.
Finch to do the kicking for the Wildcats. The ball at the 40, and it's underway, and it comes on this near side to number 20. Derek Moreland cuts back toward the center of the field across the 30-yard line up to about the 33, where he's brought down there by number 3. That is Shed Wilson of the ElDorado Wildcats. So it's first down and 10. Bearcats at their own 33-yard line. They mark the ball right in the center of the field, halfway between the hash marks. Incidentally, our officials tonight are Ned Skoog, Jim Roundtree, Kelly Robbins, Larry Thomerson, James O'Neill, all from Hot Springs. And here we go, first and 10, moving from our right to left. From south to north are the Bearcats. Bo Meeks, your quarterback, brings them to the line, hands it off to the first man through, and opening over the right side across the 35, out to about the 39-yard line. Good yardage on first down for the Bearcats, and number 23 on the carry, Scotty Roan. It'll be second and about 3.
Bob, as you mentioned before the broadcast, the ElDorado Wildcats have a very large defensive line. They also will shoot their linebackers a lot. That time, the Bearcats' right side of the offensive line had a good surge, thus the good yardage. Second down.
Averaging about 280 pounds per man on that front defensive line. Bo Meeks pitches to Roan coming around this side. He's got yardage out across the 40, up to around the 43-yard line. It's going to be very close to a Bearcat first down as Scotty Roan on the carry around this left end. And we'll bring up third and very, very short, or else first down yardage for the Bearcats. And we may have our first measurement of the night, and that's what we're going to do at the 10:46 mark here in this first period. No score, just getting underway from ElDorado before a big crowd. This near side is almost capacity right now, Joe. And we'll go down to Ed and see what's happening.
Ed, down on the field, can you give us a spot on that measurement? What's it look like, Ed?
That's getting it right down to it, isn't it?
Let's go with the high right 32 inch.
If they hadn't mowed it so short, we've not had a first down. Third down and maybe half the length of the football for a first down. The ball resting close to the Bearcat 43-yard line. 10:45, the clock started now. Third and inches for the Bearcats from an I formation. Split the left end out to this side and give the ball to the fullback up the right side, and he's got yardage for the first down out near the 49-yard line of the Bearcats. And Roan once again on the carry.
Bob, as you mentioned, Roan on the carry, but again, another fine offensive surge by the line on that right side, and Jerry Clemen coming into the ball game for the Bearcats at an offensive line slot.
They marked the ball at the Bearcat 47. It's first and 10 from an I formation. Wingman to the right side. The left end split out to this near side. Pitch it back to number 22, and that's Marcus Amos going nowhere. He may have lost a yard or two on the carry. Incidentally, Marcus comes into tonight's action averaging 17 yards per carry off that first game last week. He attempted only 4 rushes, but he gained 68 yards, but a loss of a couple there, and that will bring that average down quickly. Second down and about 12 back at their 46-yard line, maybe a long 11. Put a slot man out to this left side, split the backs, and Bo Meeks on a little screen. It's complete, 50-yard line, 45-yard line, and down at the 45 goes Trotter Hunt at the ElDorado Wildcats end of the playing field.
Bob, it looked like a screen, but the blockers didn't get out there, and Hunt was on his own and did a good job in the open field. of picking up some yardage basically on his own. He had to go down very low to pick up the pass. Good job of receiving and running by Trotter Hunt.
He was the slot man on this near side. It's third down and about 3. The ball at the ElDorado 45-yard line. Put a man out to the far side. That is David Smith. Put a wingman on this near side. And Bo Meeks gives it off to Amos. Amos is going to come up about a half-yard shy of the first down inside the 45, down to about the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. It'll bring up fourth down and maybe a yard, maybe a half yard to go. 9:06, and the clock is stopped right now as they place the ball. And now we should get it back rolling again. It's fourth down and maybe a yard. Fourth and maybe a yard at the Wildcat 43-yard line. Meeks brings them out of the huddle. Up they come to the line. Going from our right to our left, right down in front of us on the 43. From our vantage point up here in the press box. And over this left side, big hole inside the 40, down to about the 37-yard line. Number 30, Trotter Hunt. And it broke quickly, but they closed it in the defensive secondary. Joe, big fourth down play.
Big play, possession down by the Bearcats. Hunt was coming from the right halfback position, and a big hole opened on the left side, and he squirted through very quickly for the first down. Big possession down for the Bearcats at the 8-minute and 45-second mark in the first quarter, and no score.
At about the Wildcat 37-yard line. This time, wingman to the left, heads in motion to the right side. Bo Meeks dropping straight back. Good protection. And he puts it down there, and it's going to be complete at the 20, to the 15, still running. He's to the 10, to the 5, fights his way. Touchdown, Derek Moreland.
Bob,
what a run, Joe.
And what a block by Marcus Amos on the 37-yard touchdown pass. But as you mentioned, what a run. He looked like he broke about 4 tackles down the way. Marcus Amos picked him up. There are about 3 potential defenders closing in on him, and he knocked about 2 of them out of the way, and a great job downfield. Great teamwork by the Bearcats, and they draw blood at the 8-minute 24-second mark in the first quarter, and Matt Willis coming on to try the point after.
Bo Meeks' third touchdown pass in a game and a half quarter. A fantastic run by Moreland after he caught it. Wait the snap. It's placed. It's kicked. It's up. It's perfect. As they come back upfield, it's Ruston 7 and the ElDorado Wildcats nothing. 8:24 to play in the first quarter. A 60-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football.
Bearcats are set to kick off. Josh Manning will kick the ball off from his 40, left-footed, and here we go, Bob.
Bearcats up 7-0. Josh's foot's into it, end over end, comes down at the 20, taken there to the 25, coming to this near side, now cutting back toward the center of the field, and he gets away from one tackler, and it's going to be hemmed in and knocked down around the 32-yard line. That was James Dunn on the return.
Good job downfield by the Bearcats, hemming him up. It looked like he was going to bust out, Bob, and down finishing off the play, or trying to finish it off, was Josh Manning. How many teams do you have with a kicker that size and that runner thinking maybe he's going to get away, and then Big Josh comes around?
Well, there are not too many teams that has a kicker the size of Josh either. Okay, here come the Wildcats to the line. Jason Evans is your quarterback from an I formation, wide out to this right side. First down and 10 from their own 32. Give it to the tailback, and he's going to be hit around the line of scrimmage, and that is Larry Cunningham on the carry. He may fall forward for about a yard, up to around the 35-yard line, maybe a couple of yards. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 8 yards to go for the Wildcats from their own 35. Ed had a good view of that touchdown run. What did it look like field level, Ed? Give it off to the fullback, first man through. He's fighting for yardage, and he's carrying some Bearcats with him on his back across the 40. He's got yardage for his first down up to the 45-yard line for the Wildcats of ElDorado.
Bob Michael Green was fighting for his life on that. He wrapped him up, but it took him about 3 or 4 seconds to bring him down. Big running back and a big first down for the Wildcats at the 7-minute, 14-second mark in the first quarter. The Wildcats with the ball, first and 10 on their own 45, and the Bearcats on top. 7-0.
Keep in mind now, this offensive line also averages 280 across the line from end to end. as does that defensive line. 1st and 10 at their own 45 for ElDorado. Give it to the fullback. First man through, fight for yards, breaks into the clear, stumbles and falls around the Bearcat 40, 41-yard line. Big run by a big running back. That's number 44, Demetrius Callaway, 222 pounds, and he is 5'9".
Another big first down by the Wildcats into Bearcat territory for the first time on the night. Running at will so far. 1st and 10 on the Bearcat 40-yard line. 6 minutes, 49 seconds to go in the first quarter of play.
Well, this big front now, the Bearcat defensive unit has got their work cut out for them on defense. From an eye, give it to that fullback once again. He is hit immediately, and he's going to be knocked down. This is Cunningham, the tailback, not the fullback. Cunningham, the tailback, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage and may not. He may have lost just about the length of the football. We'll still call it 2nd down and 10 at the Bearcat 40 and a half. 6:19 to play here in this opening period. The Bearcats up by a score of 7-0 over ElDorado. Here come the Wildcats. 2nd down, just outside the Bearcat 40.
Okay, that's where
From an I formation, wide out left, and the pitch back to the tailback. This is Cunningham. Cunningham cuts that left end. He's got running room down the sideline. He's going to be inside the 30. A late flag also falls. He is out of bounds around the Bearcat 28, 29-yard line. And as we said, we've got a late flag also laying on the ground. Joe, did you see anything? You see what that was, Joe?
Bob, and just, again, wide open offense by the Wildcats. It looked like this one's going to go against ElDorado. And the first penalty on the night, talking to Randall Landers down there on the field. But, again, the Wildcats are running the ball very well so far. And the Bearcats are going to have to regroup right now defensively. But the penalty helps them at the 5-minute and 58-second mark in the first quarter. The holding call going against the Wildcats brings up a 2nd down and 10 yards to go on the Ruston 40.
Well, he had his first down yardage, but the penalty will nullify that and bring up 2nd down and 10 at the Bearcat 40-yard line. Clock moving, 5:50 to play here in this opening period. Ruston on top, 7-0, facing this huge offensive line of the Wildcats. And here they come to the line. From an I formation, Jason Evans is your quarterback with a wide out left, wing right. And little wing back reverse over that left side, from the right side, inside the 40, down to around the 38-yard line. And that's a pickup of a couple, maybe 3. And it will bring up 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. Incidentally, that was Jeff Turner on the carry for the Wildcats. 3rd down and a long 7. 5:13 and counting. Bearcats up by a score of 7-0. And Matt Turner comes out of the game for the Bearcats. And let's see, I think a piece went in. Slot formation to this right side on a 3rd and 7 at the 37 of the Bearcats. Evans is dropping back. Big rush coming. Evans gets away from one, shoots a pass out. It's intercepted and down immediately at the 30-yard line, rather the 40-yard line. Matt Willis, he threw it right to Matt. And Joe, if Matt could have kept his feet, he was gone.
It looked like the receiver was open for a moment, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came Matt Willis. And like you said, Bob, just another step to keep his balance, and he would have scored 6. But the Bearcats, with a big turnover after ElDorado was moving the ball fairly well, take over 1st and 10 on their own, let's call it 39.5-yard line. 4 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play, and the Bearcats on top, 7-0.
Bo Meeks brings them to the line. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Wide out to the left, wingman in motion right, comes in motion this near side, and a flag dropped on the ground before the play can get underway. 4:29 to play here in this opening period, and Ed, the defense was pushed around a little bit, but they were able to get a turnover.
The Bearcats bring Cornelius Sims into the lineup for the first time on the night. Meeks gets the play from the sideline.
Okay, Ed's got it. Go ahead, Ed. Well, the 5-yard penalty against Ruston moves it back to the 35. Coming in motion, and a little reverse, and we've got running room down that far side, and a pass play off of it, and he throws it into the ground. Oh, my, they had that set up perfect, but Derek Moreland's pass just went straight down.
Well, Bob, it went straight down. I don't know how else to describe it. He was trying to, on the double reverse, he was trying to hit Amos out of the backfield. Had he kept the ball and run, he would have gone for a long way, but the play was called in advance, and Amos was open, but Moreland, Moreland won't be the first back up to Bo Meeks.
No, not tonight, I don't believe. It is second down coming up. Second down and 15 back at the 35-yard line. And a handoff over the right side. Not much there. Maybe a couple of yards out to around the 37 or 38-yard line. And knocked to the ground right there by this huge defensive line of the Wildcats.
Gotta get 14 yards.
Brings up a third down possession down. Trotter Hunt bringing the play in for the Bearcats. Third down, and let's call it 12 on the Bearcat 37.5-yard line. 3 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Bearcats on top, 7-0.
That was Cornelius Sims on the carry, by the way, for the Bearcats. Third down coming. And from the I formation, wide out right, wing left. Bo Meeks drops back. Bo got time. Bo shoots it upfield. Wide open at the 45 of ElDorado. Falls forward to about the 41 is number 87, J.P. Love.
Bob, as we mentioned last week, Love is a big target, 6'4", 200. Excellent hands. He was wide open. A bullet pass by Meeks to the wide open Love. A good pattern run. And the Bearcats pick up a 21-yard pass play and a first down. First and 10 on the ElDorado 42.5-yard line. 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Bearcats on top, 7-0.
First down and 10 at the 43 of ElDorado for the Bearcats, moving right to left. And Bo Meeks, he slings it way down the way. It's complete at the 4-yard line. Off the hand of the ElDorado defender into the hands of Marcus Rohn inside the 5. It's first and goal at the 3.
Bob, as you mentioned, Dedrick Willis for the Wildcats had the play covered. Rohn was covered, but the ball was deflected, fell into Rohn's hands. He falls just short of the goal line. A 39-yard pass play following the 21-yarder, so 60 yards on the last two passes by Meeks, and the Bearcats have it first and goal.
Okay, we'll check with Ed on the field in just a moment on that play, but it's first and goal at the 3. Bearcats up 7-0. Hunt out of the ball game. Split the eye and give it to the second man. On the ground goes the football, and let's see who has got it. ElDorado says they have it, and they do. Oh, my. A turnover, and it was intended, the handoff for Cornelius Sims, but Ed, boy, that's a tough one there inside the 5. I said, that's a tough break inside the 5 when you get that far down there and you lose it. At their 4-yard line, first down and 10 from an I formation. Give it to that big fullback. First man through. He may have picked up a yard, maybe a yard and a half to the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up second down and about 8 at the Bearcat 5. Joe, we need to hold them down here.
It'd be good to hold them down here. James Drayton in on that tackle coming off the field. The Bearcats gave up stingy yardage, just 1 yard. Second and 9. On their own 5-yard line. After the big turnover, it looked like the running back never had the ball on that other play, Bob, and
never had it. Jason Evans is your quarterback. Puts a wide out to this right side. Put a wing man to the left from an I. And here comes Evans rolling this way. Pitches back to the tailback. He's going to be hit, knocked down out around the 9-yard line. And it's going to bring up third down and about 4. Third down, about 4, maybe 5.
That was the option play. The quarterback moved to his right, and he had the option of either holding the ball or pitching it out, which he did. The coaches told me before the game that ElDorado will do that a lot, so that's probably the first of many times we see that play tonight as we have a possession down, third down and 6 on the ElDorado 9-yard line. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Here they come. Put a wide out to the left side. The ball on this near hash mark. And ElDorado, let's see, what have we got? We've got an official's timeout. One of the ElDorado players needs some equipment adjusted, and that is that big fullback, Demetrius Callaway. And the officials got him all squared away now, and we're set and ready to go. On a 3rd down and 6 from the Wildcat 8-yard line, that's where the ball is marked at the 8. From the I once again, wide out and left. Big play right here, and Evans is hit, and the fullback is hit. He got the fullback to the football, and he is across the 10, maybe to about the 11-yard line, but it's going to bring up 4th down, and ElDorado's got to kick it away.
Bob, hard to say who made the tackle that time. There were about 4 or 5 Bearcats. I see Richard Anderson getting off the bottom of the pile, Matt Turner, but they bunched up and held, and that was a good job by the Bearcat defense after that first series, and forces ElDorado into a punting situation. The ball is on about their own 12, and back to receive the punt for the Bearcats will be Kenny Wright. He's standing at about midfield.
Okay, and standing right at his own goal line is Eric Finch for the Wildcats. 48 seconds and counting left here in this first period. Bearcats up 7-0, and they got to the 3 just a moment ago and fumbled it. And here's the punt, taken at the 47 of ElDorado, 45 to the 40, and to the 39-yard line goes Kenny Wright, and that's where the Bearcats will take over at the 39-yard line, but a flag downfield at about the 26-yard line.
Bob, it looks like the official gave the preliminary signal against the Wildcats, but let's see.
Now they're saying clipping against Ruston. Clipping against the Bearcats, that's going to move them out of they had great field position at the 39, but this is going to carry them back, this 15-yard penalty, back to their own 45-yard line. 34 seconds left here in this opening period. Ruston up 7-0, and had another golden opportunity with the 1st and goal at the 3, and fumbled on the 1st down and lost the ball to ElDorado. So that's where we stand right now. The Bearcats scoring on their first possession of the night following the opening kickoff. Here they come to the line. Bo Meeks, your quarterback, splits the left end out to this near side. That's Marcus Roan. Put a wing man to the right. That's Hunt. And from an I formation, pitches back to Amos. Amos trying to get outside. Dodges 1 man, dodges 2. He's to the 50. He's going to be out of bounds across the way at the ElDorado 47-yard line. Good run as he was able to cut the corner.
Looked like he was trying to cut inside, but it wasn't there, so he broke it outside very quickly, and most of that was on his own. A good burst of speed by Marcus Amos. Bob, so far on the night, Meeks is 4 for 4 for 80 yards. Strong arm tonight, and look for him to air it out pretty soon again, because Meeks really looks sharp tonight.
And 1 touchdown, and of course with every yard he's getting closer and closer to that Ruston record. From the 47-yard line of the Wildcats, 2nd down, 2 yards to go. I formation, give it to the front man through, and he's got yardage for the 1st down across the 45, down to about the 43-yard line goes Scotty Roan. And it's 1st and 10 for the Bearcats at the Wildcat 43.
Bob, the Bearcats really look good offensively so far tonight. That unfortunate turnover a few moments ago, but again, they're moving 1st and 10 inside Wildcat territory on the 43-yard line. 7 seconds, 6-5, and they're going to have to hurry to get this play off.
And they'll never do it. We're down to 1, and that is it. The end of the first period of play from ElDorado, Arkansas tonight. Our score after 1, it's Ruston 7, the Wildcats nothing. A 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football.
Ball, 1st and 10 on the ElDorado 43-yard line. They scored on their first possession, almost on their second, fumbling the ball deep in Wildcat territory. And here comes Meeks with the Bearcats on top, 7-0.
1st and 10 at the Wildcat 43-yard line. Meeks dropping back. Meeks got time. Meeks shoots it out. It's incomplete. It was intended out in the left flat for Hunt, but they couldn't quite get it there to him, just a little out front. It'll be 2nd down and 10. First play of the second period just underway. Well, Ed, the defense was able to stifle them and get us the football back, and we've got excellent field position now if this offense can keep it moving. Okay, a little screen pass complete to the 30, to the 25, out of bounds. downs at the 23-yard line. Set up perfectly to Marcus Amos. It's 1st and 10 Bearcats at the Wildcat 23.
Bob, that was your proverbial tightrope down the right sideline. Amos did everything he could to stay in bounds, did a good job to pick up about an extra 5 yards with his balance. And again, he's having a good night, both blocking and receiving and running. And the Bearcats have it 1st and 10 on the ElDorado 23.
Here they come. 11:48 to play in the first half. We're in the second quarter. It is 1st and 10. Bo Meeks. Bo drops back. Bo shoots a pass out complete. And inside the 20 down to about the 18 goes Scotty Roan. A good gain on that first down play. It'll bring up second down at the Wildcat 18. Second down and about 6, maybe 5.
Bob, in the first quarter, ElDorado 49 yards total offense. The Bearcats 114. Ruston fumbled once. They were penalized twice for 20 yards. ElDorado once for 10 yards.
Second down, the ball resting on the ElDorado 18-yard line. Here come the Bearcats from an I formation. Split the right end out to this near side. Put a wingman on this side also. And Bo Meeks gives it off to the tailback. He's going to be hit at the 20.
Bob, he stumbled as he was trying to pick up steam, but it didn't look like he was going much farther than that anyway, because they really jammed up the middle. As we mentioned before, the Wildcat linebackers will shoot the gap a lot, and sometimes it'll pay off and sometimes it won't. It did that time, as the Bearcats have it 3rd and 8. The ball just outside the 20-yard line. 10:44 to go in the second quarter. The Bearcats on top, 7-0.
That was Marcus Amos, and about a 2-yard loss. It's going to bring up third down at the 20-yard line. The ball just outside the Wildcat 20-yard line. Bo Meeks looks over this huge defensive unit, and now he's going to draw back, getting good protection. He's got a man out here wide open and drops the football just a little bit. Actually, Marcus Amos had to turn around, and it got maybe just a hair too high for him, and it's going to bring up 4th down. And Bo goes to Marcus and says, I threw it just a little too high. And as we said, Marcus also had to make almost a complete turn to look back for the ball.
Bob, I think he was also telling another receiver that he didn't run his route. It looked like, well, I'll just leave that alone, but one of the receivers did not run his route that time, and I think Bo let him know as we're going to have a long field goal attempt of about 37 yards by Willis.
Okay, the ball will be placed at the 27 by Meeks. It's placed, it's kicked, it's up. It's going to be way short and to the left. And so that Wildcat defensive unit has stopped the Bearcats once again and will take over on downs. Ruston still hanging to that 7-0 lead as the Bearcats had a good drive going, but it stalled at the 20, and that's where the Wildcats will take over. First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 10:19 to play here in this second period. Bearcats with a lead, but the Wildcats take over.
And Bob, the Bearcats have had an opportunity to go up 14, maybe more points, and haven't capitalized yet. And again, the Wildcats moved it well on their first series.
Well, it could very well be 21-0 right now, but we're still 7-0. And here comes that tailback. He breaks it into the clear. He's to the 30. He's outside the 30, out to around the 33-yard line goes Larry Cunningham. And a big run on first down for first down yardage. A gain of about 13, and the flag is down across the way.
And Bob, the flag was after the play, so certainly that's going against the Bearcats. It is. They're moving it out to the about 48-yard line as we wait for the signal from the referee. Personal foul against the Bearcats. 1st and 10 for ElDorado on their own 48. Down 7-0 with 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first half.
And all that occurred right across the way in front of the ElDorado bench. ElDorado on the far side of the field, and Ruston is on this near side. And here come the Wildcats, 1st and 10 from their own 48. Give it off to the fullback, and absolutely nothing there. He may have gotten a yard and no more. Josh Manning is 1 foot, and who is it? Peace has got the other foot. Gain of a yard out to the 49, and that's the way that defensive unit likes to perform right there.
Richard Anderson also coming off the bottom of that pile that time, Bob, the junior linebacker. 2nd down and 8.
9:35 and counting left here in this first half. 7-0 our score. The Bearcats on top of the Wildcats. In case you're just joining us, we're in ElDorado, Arkansas tonight. 2nd down from their own 49-yard line. ElDorado from an I, wide out right. Ball on the far hash mark. Evans is going to throw. Evans puts it upfield, and it's going to be incomplete as he was hit and knocked down to the ground hard just as he got it away. And Joe, he didn't take but about 1 step back.
And Bob, he was going for a big target. Josh Williford, 6 foot 239 on the program. He looks 10 pounds bigger than that. Had he had another step, might have been open, but a good job of coverage. But like you said, he was rushed, and the Bearcats did not give him much time to throw the ball. Conversion down, 3rd and 8.
Chad Thompson into the game on defense, and Rhett Reeves is out for Ruston. 3rd down from their own 49-yard line. Here come the Wildcats from an I formation, and here comes a reverse, and he's going to be hit. Nope, they let him get away, but now they get him all the way back to the 39-yard line. A big, big play by Corey Mason.
Bob, Victor Robinson had him, and he broke loose, like you said, but then Corey Mason, smart and held his ground, stayed there to cover, and he did, and threw him for even a bigger loss, so the Bearcats are forcing the Wildcats to punt with 8 minutes 53 seconds left to go in the first half, and standing back at about his own 30 will be Kenny Wright.
And number 46, once again, getting set to punt. That's Eric Finch. He is back inside his 30 at his own 28-yard line. Clock moving, 7-0 our score. The Bearcats on top of the Wildcats. Here's a snap. Good snap. Rush is coming. High punt coming to this near side and out of bounds. It's going to be short, too. And let's see where the officials are going to mark it. He comes back up to the 34-yard line. So that's where the Bearcats will put it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 34. And
Bob, I think Ed's got something for us down there on the field. Ed?
Okay, here we go. Wing set to the left, wide out to the left. Ball on this near hash. Hand it off on this right side. Coming to the 40, 45, up and out of bounds near midfield, right at the 50-yard line. I believe is where they're going to mark it on a big run on that first down play by Mwalama Dean.
I think that's Mwalamu.
Mwalamu. I'm going to get it right before the season's over.
And
Don't worry.
I think they probably could have thrown a flag on that one. I can't tell from my angle, but he might have been out of bounds when he took a hard hit, but he got the ball up just right on top of the 50-yard line. The Bearcats have it 1st and 10, 8:22 to go in the first half, up by 7.
At midfield, same formation comes alive once again. Wing left, wide out to the left. The ball on this near hash. Bo Meeks, first man through over the left side. Big hole to the 40, to the 35-yard line, and out of bounds goes Cornelius Sims. Another first down play.
And Bob, he was hit on about the 40-yard line and took a couple of tacklers with him. A good job of running that time by Cornelius Sims as Marcus Amos trots onto the field. And as we saw last week, we may not see as much this week, but the Bearcats very deep at the running back position, and they showed it that time on the run by Sims.
Dean comes out, and Amos is in. Same formation. The ball on the far hash, left end split out, wing to the left side. Now he comes in motion to this near side. That's Hunt on the move, and give it off to Amos. Amos trying to find a block. He cuts the corner, and is going to be down at the 30-yard line as he goes sailing through the air for another 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. And Ed, we've got them rolling again now. If we can just keep them rolling and hang on to the football. The ball at the 30-yard line of the Wildcats. Left end split out, wing set to this right side. The ball on the near hash, and here comes Bo. Bo rolling to his left. He's looking for some room. He's going to run it. He's heading toward the out-of-bounds marker, and it will be out of bounds around the 21-yard line. But that is yardage for another Bearcat first down and 10 at the Wildcat 21. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in this second period. The Bearcats up 7-0, but they have totally, Joe, dominated the football game. And as we said a few moments ago, it could very easily be 21-0 right now.
Well, certainly they left some points on the board with the fumble down deep in Wildcat territory, and they tried the field goal and didn't make it. But the Bearcats again are moving, 1st and 10 on the ElDorado 21-yard line. 7:06 to go in the first half.
This huge defensive team for the Wildcats slowly starting to give ground now. Pitch out to this right side, inside the 20, down to around the 18-yard line goes Amos. And let's see who gets up out there. There's Harold Brown, a 6'2", 235-pound sophomore.
Bob, it's not hot tonight, but it was 77 at game time, and you wonder, with high school players, the size of the ElDorado Wildcats, what kind of condition they're in. The Bearcats are very quick on offense, and let's see if conditioning takes its toll as the game goes on.
3-yard pickup on that carry. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the Bearcats from the Wildcat 18. Bo Meeks to Sims over the left side. Sims then cuts back toward the center of the playing field, and we'll get it down to about the 15, where it's going to bring a 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for the Bearcats at the Wildcat 15-yard line. 7-0. The Bearcats up over the Wildcats, and once again threatening, as they have done 2 previous times, but come away empty-handed. They had the ball 1st and goal to go one time at the 3-yard line, and on the first play from scrimmage, they fumbled, and then they ran out of downs a few moments ago and were no good on a field goal attempt. Wide out to the left. Man in motion comes to this near side, and flags are down everywhere, and it looks like we've got a 5-yarder coming up against Ruston.
The right side of the offensive line moved that time, Bob, so that'll bring it back to a 3rd and let's call it 9 yards. 5:48 to go in the first half. The Bearcats on top 7-0. Total offense so far for the Bearcats, 188 yards. And Bob, listen to this. Already 10 first downs for the Bearcats. ElDorado with 54 on the run and none through the air. Bearcats with a balanced attack, 83 on the run and 105 by passing.
Well, as we said, they have totally dominated this first half, but lead only 7-0. 5:34 to play here in this second period. It is 3rd down and about 8 yards to go. And Bo Meeks drops back. Bo Meeks looks downfield. He's got a man out there at the 10, and he's fighting inside to the front to 6-yard line. You didn't realize that the man had that much strength, but Trotter Hunt just pushed his way downfield.
Well, he's gritty. He had the angle. First of all, he made sure to make the reception, which he did very well on the 14-yard pass play from Meeks to Hunt. And on that critical play, the Bearcats again have a 1st and goal. 1st and goal on the 6-yard line. 5:18 to go in the first half. The Cats on top, 7-0.
Okay, here we go. Second time tonight we've had it goal to go. Let's see what happens this time. At the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. Split a wide out to the left, everyone else in tight, and pitch it back. And coming around that left side with flags going down inside the 5 to around the 3 goes Scotty Roan, but we've got flags down everywhere. Keep that in mind. And it looks like it's coming against Ruston, Joe says. And I think Bo Meeks was...
Bob, I think they called a clip on one of our outside fellas coming in and maybe hitting somebody from the back. That's well, whether it was the correct call, that's the call they made. And again, the Bearcats had it 1st and goal, and now they have it, let's say, 1st and goal from the 20-yard line. Again, their work cut out for them.
Well, the 3rd time tonight now we've been here, and the 3 previous times we've... well, this is the 3rd time. The 2 previous times we've come away empty-handed. So now let's see what happens. It's 1st and goal at the 20. And Meeks. And a little reverse was coming up there, but there was absolutely nothing. The Wildcats had that spelled out completely and dropping back out at the 26-yard line. And that was David Smith, but it's 2nd and goal to go at the 26-yard line.
Bob, that's one of those what-if plays. He couldn't get outside. Had he gotten outside, he looked like he had a lot of room to go, but it never developed, and that brings up a 2nd down. And Meeks so far on the night, Bob, is 7 for 9, 119 yards and a touchdown.
Well, and you figure now for sure we'll see it in the air. It is 2nd and goal at the 26-yard line. So a long way to go. 4 minutes to play. And Meeks drops back, sets a screen pass up. Boy, they have got this set perfect to Amos, and Amos slips at the 16-yard line. Well, he tried to make a cut as Eddie Miller was right there in front of him, and as he tried to make that cut, his feet slipped and he couldn't get going.
Bob, they had the 2 speedsters out on the right side, Roan and Hunt, and they decoyed it very well. It was set up beautifully. It looked like he had about 5 or 6 blockers and nobody to block, but as you said, when he tried to make his cut, his feet went out from under him, so that brings up a 3rd and goal on the 18-yard line, 3:26 to go in the first half. The Bearcats on top, 7-0.
Big play coming right now for Ruston. Put a man out to this right side, wing to the left. Bo Meeks with an eye behind him. And Meeks, he's got Glenn wide open. This is for the 5. This is a touchdown. And this is Scotty Roan once again. It's Ruston 13 and ElDorado nothing. And they set it up just perfect. And apparently Ed, with all the crowd ragged, can't hear me. .308 to play in the first half. A 60-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat football.
6-yard drive, 11 plays, taking 5:20 off the clock, and here's Manning.
And a short kick, and at about the 48-yard line, I believe the Bearcats have got it. They say they do. Let's wait for the official to make the final word, and he hasn't said yet. But I believe ElDorado has it. And we've got a flag down. It goes way up in the air. And, Joe, I believe one of the Bearcats had a little something to say.
I think they were squabbling over the call, and somebody squabbled a little bit too much. And by the way the official threw the flag, that's going to be an unsportsmanlike on the Bearcats. And whoever got that call, Bob, doesn't want to come off the field right now.
Right now.
The Bearcats have now been penalized 6 times for 70 yards, and that's not what we needed right there, as the Bearcats have a 14-point lead, 3 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the half, but the Wildcats with excellent field position on the Bearcat 36 after the penalty.
4 penalties all last week for only 30 yards. So the Bearcats have turned that around this week and are going the wrong way. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Here comes these big Wildcats. Pitch rolls right, puts it downfield, incomplete. Intended across the way over there, but defended against by Kevin Stinson, and the pass actually, Joe, wasn't even close.
And Stinson was about a half a step away from an interception on that play, Bob. Good defensive coverage by Kevin Stinson, the senior, 5'10", 190, very quick. A lot of the publicity is given to Kenny Wright and Michael Green, but Kevin Stinson does an excellent job in the defensive secondary for the Bearcats.
2:48, and the clock stopped on the incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 from the Bearcat 36-yard line for the Wildcats. Same formation, slot set to the right side from an I formation. Bench, 1 step, dropped. It's going to be intercepted by Kenny Wright. Here he comes. He's got a blocker, and he fumbles the football at the 38-yard line, but I believe he fumbled it right into a Bearcat player's hands, Joe. Boy, you can't get any luckier break than that for sure.
Bob, there was not a Wildcat receiver around, but Kenny Wright was alert, squirted up the field. It almost looked like he's trying to toss the ball, but like you said, he fumbled it, and the Bearcats avoid the disaster after that penalty and take the ball over. 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line, 38-yard line, let's call it. 2:38, the clock moving. In the first half, the Cats on top, 14-0.
We're going to check with Ed in just a moment and see who, if he caught who recovered that fumble out there. But let's get this play first. Wing left and a wide out right. And Bo Meeks drops straight back. He's got time. He's got a man out there overthrown at the 40-yard line of the Wildcats. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. And Ed, by the way, did you see who recovered that fumble just then?
2:20 left.
Bo Meeks drops back. Bo's got a man wide open out here at the 50-yard line, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 20. And nothing to mark him out of bounds at the 28-yard line. What a run by David Smith off the reception from Bo Meeks. Oh, Joe, he's hot tonight. Bo Meeks is.
And Bob, David Smith is not a big target, only 5'6", but lightning quick, and he showed it after the reception that time. But like you said, Meeks is on target tonight. And I want to say one other thing at the risk of jinxing the offensive line. So far, they've given Meeks excellent protection tonight.
And Smith, by the way, ran the last few yards with 1 foot out of a shoe. So it's 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of the Wildcats. 2:10 to play here in the first half. Meeks drops back. Meeks, he's got a man. It's incomplete. And I think Derek Moreland had not looked back quite soon enough because Bo had to get off just maybe one count sooner than he wanted to because a rush was coming, and Moreland just got one hand out, and that was all.
The minute I said about the protection, he was rushed a little bit, but like you said, Moreland got a hand on the ball, maybe could have made a great catch, but a little bit out of his reach. 2nd and 10 on the ElDorado 28. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the first half.
Here come the Bearcats. Put a wide out to this right side, wing far to the left from an I formation. Fumble the ball again. Once again, trying to hand it off to Sims, and the ball hit the ground, and Meeks recovered it back out at the 32. So a big loss there. It's going to bring up a huge down right now. 3rd and close to 14. 3rd down and about 14 to go at the Wildcat 32-yard line.
David Smith brings the play into Bo Meeks with this big 3rd down situation. Meeks is 10 of 14 on the night, 181 yards and 2 TDs.
Okay, Moreland goes out left, and Smith is out to this right side, and Meeks is dropping straight back. And a flag goes down. A loose screen pass to Love, and we're going to have a holding call, and Love is going to be down at the 15-yard line, and I think it will all be coming back because we've got a flag back out at the Wildcat 36-yard line. But they had it set up perfect, and a big, strong run by J.P. Love, that big 6'4", 200-pound tight end. But it's all for naught.
Well, Bob, I guess they did call the holding, but that was a quick flag because there wasn't much time to do much holding as the play was set up beautifully, and it seems like every time we get down close, it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and so now we're looking at a 3rd and forever. We'll give it to you in just a moment, but 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go in the first half. The Bearcats on top 14-0, and let's call it 3rd and 27. That's not right. 3rd and about 29.
By the way, what you're hearing on the air is a generator that's running down on the sideline down there, and it sounds like 4 planes trying to get started all at one time. Okay, Meeks is back. Meeks has got Love out there again, but just a little bit overthrown, and Joe, if he could have connected on that, it would have been 20-0 right then. But remind me also never to ask Coach Billy Gillum again what he thought about the few penalties that we got in the game, because it looks like I jinxed them because the penalties have been rolling in here in this first half.
And another thing we're seeing for the first time, Matt Willis trotting onto the field to punt for the first time in 6 quarters.
Yep.
With 1:04 to go. The Bearcats on top 14-0. They'll apparently be satisfied with this lead if they can hold them here. Willis looked very good before the game in his warm-up, Bob.
Well, they were down there 4 times here in this, well, now we've got another flag coming down. And let's see what we've got this time. The ball is right now at the ElDorado 46-yard line. 5 more yards will be coming off and step back to the Bearcat 49-yard line. Back to the 49.
Delay of game.
So it's going to be 4th down, and man, they've got about half the football field to go. It's going to be close to about 45 yards to go for a first down. And Willis now standing back on his own 36. Good snap, no rush, and gets a good punt away. And it's driving the would-be receiver. He fumbles the football, and it's going to be recovered, and it's 1st and goal for the Bearcats at the 5-yard line. Joe, I have no idea what was going through Larry Cunningham's mind at that time, but he just grabbed at the ball, touched it, and did not even make an attempt to recover it.
Well, Bob, I'll tell you one thing that was not going through his mind, that was watching the ball, because Willis really hit a good punt. Had a high spiral on it, and it was obvious from up here it was going over his head, and he finally woke up and got a hand on it, but Mwalamudin recovered the punt, and a big break for the Bearcats, which offsets their somewhat ragged penalty performance. 8 penalties for 89 yards on the night, and again, as we have a timeout, don't ask Coach Gillum about those penalties anymore.
That's for sure. Timeout on the field with 49 seconds to play. Our score, Ruston 14, ElDorado nothing. A 30-second break.
Timeout right now as the Bearcats have just recovered a fumbled punt. It was a beautiful punt by Willis, muffed by Larry Cunningham. Mwalamudin, Johnny on the spot. He recovered the ball on the 6-yard line or 5-yard line or so. So far on the night, the Bearcats have 252 yards total offense, 71 on the ground, 181 through the air. The Wildcats have only 54 yards total offense. And Bob, you were commenting a moment ago, although the score is 14-0, it easily could be higher than that. And maybe the Bearcats can make up for some of those missed opportunities right now on this fumble recovery.
Okay, Coach Billy Gillum has just had a long conversation out there on the field with this offensive unit. It's 1st and goal at the Wildcat 5-yard line. 49 seconds left here in this first half. The ball on this near hash mark, and a huge break for the Bearcats now to see what they can do with it. From the 5, wing to the left, and a handoff over that left side. Absolutely nothing is there for Scotty Roan. It'll be 2nd and goal to go. He may have gotten a half yard to about the 4.5.
No huddle.
And the clock running, 36:35 to go. Wing left, same formation once again. The ball just inside this near hash mark. And pitch it to Roan. Roan's going to cut back in, and Roan is going to be at the goal line, and we've got a flag down one more time. Roan is right at, well, he's at about the 1-foot line. But now let's check this penalty.
It's going to be a hold or a clip against the Bear. Well, they're calling an illegal block against the Bearcats, and
oh my.
Well, Bob, this is one of those disclaimer statements. They're closer, we're up here, but I didn't see it. I don't think you did either. And but the official threw the flag, and again the Bearcats are close, shoot themselves in the foot, and their biggest enemy right now, 18 seconds left to go in the first half, on top 14-0, but a golden opportunity might be slipping away.
What will that do? Put us over 100 yards in penalties here in the first half. We had 30 yards the entire game last Friday night to open the season.
108, Bob. 108 yards in penalties in the first half.
108 yards. Well, you know Coach Gillum is going to have something to say about that at halftime. 13 seconds, the clock running. Bo Meeks drops back. Bo Meeks hits Roan. He's to the 10. He is to the 5, and he drags him to the goal line. Is he there? And the official says at maybe the half-foot line. And the Bearcats are going to take a timeout. 3 seconds left in this first half.
And oh, he was so close, Bob. You want to keep it here with the...
Yeah, we'll just hang on to it here. I don't know how the official kept that mark. Well, let's take a quick break with 3 seconds to play. A 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football.
Just outside the goal line. It's so close, he's going to have chalk on his right shoe after this. He's standing on the goal line. I'm like you. I don't know how he marked it the way he did, but he did. And it's goal to go for the Bearcats. And 3rd and goal, an inch to go, 3 seconds left. This is it. No time after this play.
Well, Joe, just put the glasses on the ball where the official is standing with it, and it may be at the 1-inch line. And this is the last play of the first half. 3 seconds to go. Full house backfield behind Bo Meeks, and touchdown for Ruston. And this is Imwalamuddin. Imwalamuddin for the touchdown, and he gets credit for a yard on that touchdown run, but actually it may have been good for 2 inches.
And a fitting touch, I guess, as Dean was the one who recovered the fumble earlier before we started our negative yardage with the penalties, but the Bearcats close out the first half. No time showing on the clock as Willis goes on the field for the PAT. The Bearcats on top 20-0. The Bearcats were penalized a lot in the first half, and surely Coach Gillum will talk about that.
The play, it's snapped, it's up, it's good. So with all of everything that has happened to the Bearcats here in this first half, with over 100 yards in penalties, boy, what a first half it has been. And they trot off the field leading by a score of 21-0 over the Wildcats, and it could have been much. Matt Willis will be kicking it to start the second half. you're just joining us, we're set to start the second half. It's 21-0 Bearcats over the Wildcats of ElDorado. And Matt Willis has the ball at the 40. He approaches, puts into it, and it sails to the far side. Here come the Bearcats, and there go the Wildcats. And ElDorado recovers and slides out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And that's where they'll put it on play. Marco Tubbs on the recovery for ElDorado.
Bob, it looks like he was kicking just to a spot. The Bearcats almost got over there to recover it, and no opportunity for a return, so the Bearcats have the Wildcats back at their 31-yard line as we're set to begin the third quarter of play.
First down and 10, and here we go. ElDorado from our left to right and moving north to south as we face the field. From an I formation, put the man out to the left side and a wing to the right. Give it to the big fullback, and he is hit immediately and is going to lose a yard back around the 30, maybe close to the 29-yard line. Let's see exactly where they're going to mark it. They'll mark it right at the 30, so he lost about a half yard.
Bob, I'll give quarter credit on the tackle there to Turner, Anderson, Manning, and Peace, as they were all around the ball carrier. That closed that one down very quickly.
Well, if that's any indication, this defensive unit is set to play the second half. We'll wait and see. Slot formation is going to come out and set up to this right side from an I formation once again. And Finch is going to drop back, and he's going to go to the tailback, and this is Cunningham, and Cunningham is going to be ridden to the ground across the way. He may have picked up about a yard and not much more. Well, a couple of yards they'll give him credit for. Out to, well, let's see now where they're going to finally mark the ball. They'll mark it up at about the 33, so it's going to bring up third down and 8 yards to go.
Good job across the way by Michael Green on that play, as trotting onto the field for the Bearcats is Chad Thompson at a defensive line position, replacing Randall Anders. Third and let's call it 8, Bob.
Jason Evans is your quarterback. Same formation, slot set to this right side. The ball resting on the far hash from an I formation. And he's going to roll to this side. He looks for a would-be receiver, and he shoots it upfield. It's going to be incomplete at the 41-yard line. Out defending for the Bearcats was number 45, Michael Green. The pass was intended for Richard Purdue. It's fourth down and 8 for the Wildcats.
Bob, as the Wildcats only had 16 offensive plays in the first half, which is excellent for the Bearcat defense, they shut them down 3 downs and out, and stepping back to receive the punt will be Kenny Wright, standing at about his own 35-yard line.
Okay, the punter, Finch, is standing back at his own 20-yard line. 10:35 to play here in this third period. High, good punt. And Wright's going to let it bounce, and the Bearcats will get away from it, and the Wildcats down it at the Bearcat 35-yard line. And we have no idea where that feedback is coming from. 32-yard punt, and it's first down and 10 for the Bearcats. Ed, that was a good high hang time punt for the Wildcats. It is first down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Big hole on the right side. Rhodes shoots upfield to the 45 and out to about the 47 or 48-yard line. First and 10 Bearcats on their first play from scrimmage.
Bob, we mentioned it before. The Bearcats are deep at the running back position. The Wildcats are very big defensively. We wonder whether they're wearing down. That was a good first burst by Roan on that play, and the Bearcats, again, with excellent field position, first and 10 on their own 48-yard line. 9:54 to go in the third quarter, on top 21-0.
Ball on the far hash. They mark it at the 48-yard line. I formation set up, wing left, wide out to the right. Pitch it back to the tailback. This is Amos. Amos has crossed midfield, crossed the 45, down to the 43-yard line of ElDorado, and he's going to come up just about a half yard shy of another Bearcat first down. So the Bearcats have come out in 2 big plays, Ed, on 2 snaps from scrimmage.
And, Bob, we talked about Amos's balance earlier. As he tight-roped the sideline, he skipped the last 4 or 5 yards, stumbling down, but picked up a good 4 or 5 yards, just keeping his balance. Good job of running that time.
Second down, about a yard to go at the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. Wing right, left end split out. Pitching back to Amos again. Amos going to put a pass in the air, and it's going to be complete, but not much yardage. But hold on, we may have just about gotten that yard needed for the first down. The pass was good to Scotty Rome, but as we said, it may be a yard upfield, but that still may be just about enough for a Bearcat first down. As we take a look right down this line, it just so happens it's right in front of where we're standing with here in the press box, and they're going to stretch the chain out just to see, and let's see, it is there just by about the half of the football. So it's another Bearcat 1st and 10 as they continue to roll here in this third period.
Well, it was 1 yard, but Marcus can now say that he's passed for a first down.
He can that. 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 43-yard line. Bo Meeks trotting back out on the field to lead this offensive unit. 8:51 to play here in the third, and now the clock starts back to run. 21-0, the Bearcats on top of the Wildcats, and here comes Ruston to the line. The ball on the far hash. Wing set to the right, right end also split out from an I formation. Coming in motion to this near side is Hunt. And going to pitch it back to Amos. Amos to the 40. Amos breaks the tackle. Amos to the 30. Amos cuts back in the middle of the field. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. Marcus Amos scores in another unbelievable run from a Bearcat running back. 42 yards for the touchdown. And Ed, boy, that was another beauty that we've seen up here in ElDorado tonight.
And Bob, you were talking about Marcus Amos. He could have gone down twice after he was sprung loose by a Hunt block, but a good job of running, and the Bearcats open up a 27-point lead.
Meek places the ball. Willis kicks it in the air, and it is good. So as they come back upfield, it's Ruston 28, ElDorado nothing. A 60-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat football.
On top, 28-0. 8 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play as the Bearcats are set to kick off again. Matt Willis handling the kickoff duties in the second half so far. He places the ball on the left, close to the left hash on this side of the field, and he's set to kick off, and back to Bob Day.
Okay, 28-0, 8:24 to play in the third period, and here comes Matt. Foots into the ball, heading toward the far side. A good end-over-ender inside the 20, taken there and coming back upfield. Oh, what a hit at the 31-yard line. Huge hit out there on the return for ElDorado was Adam Buchanan. And Corey Mason on that head-on hit for the Bearcats.
And Bob, that hit's not made. He had an alley right there, and he could have busted that one all the way. So a good job of special teams coverage by the Bearcats as ElDorado has only their fourth opportunity of this, or second opportunity, fourth offensive play of this third quarter, down 28-0.
1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line for ElDorado from an I. Well, left end split out, give it to the tailback, and second man through, and he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Cunningham on the carry, and a host of Ruston Bearcat defenders there to meet him. And led by Richard Anderson, the first man to make the hit. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go for the Wildcats, maybe about 10.5 actually. 7:35 and the clock continues to roll. Ruston up 28-0. It's been all Bearcats since the opening drive as they took the opening kickoff and drove down for a score. And it's been Bearcats since then. And a big rush coming from Ruston, and the pass is away, but going to be incomplete. It was intended for Torrance Dunn.
Bob, Corey Mason was barreling down on the quarterback. He got the pass off, but just barely. He had to have heard him coming, and he really laid a lick on him as the Bearcats' defense looks totally different than it did in that first series when ElDorado had it, and they ran off about 3 first downs in a row, but they've really risen to the occasion, bringing up a third down and 10 on the ElDorado 31-yard line. 7:21 to go in the third quarter of play. The Bearcats on top, 28-0.
So far here in the second half, the Wildcats have run 5 offensive plays, and they have absolutely been shut down. It's 3rd down and 10 from their own 31. Spreads them out this time. And Evans is dropping back, trying to set a screen pass. He's got a man out there, but he's going to be knocked down well short of his first down, up around the 38-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and close to 4 yards to go.
Good job that time on the tackle by Corey Mason. Little help from, looked like Green. The screen was set up well, or at least all the Bearcats rushers bit on the play, but a good job by the defensive secondary holding the Wildcats, and again, they're going to be forced to punt as Kenny Wright steps back to receive the punt, standing on around his own 30-yard line.
Joe, you've got to say one thing about these Wildcats. They're going to be some kind of football team in the next couple of 2 or 3 years, though. This team is nothing. Well, let's take a timeout right now because ElDorado has just killed the clock. Breaking the action, 28-0 Ruston, a 30-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcats. Okay, 4th down, and Finch is back to punt it away, standing at his own 27-yard line. Gets a snap. Here comes a rush, but whoa, what a punt. He sends this one down the field, and Kenny Wright takes it, fumbled it, and he's going to be down right there because his knee was on the ground. So that's where the Bearcats will put it in play at their own 18-yard line. 1st down and 10, but we've got a flag also across the way. So let's see what we've got on that penalty. 42-yard punt off the foot of Eric Finch. So, Joe, what do we got?
Well, Bob, we've got a clipping call on a punt that was down where it was received. Now, again, I don't know. I didn't see the play. Maybe it was the correct call, but we've already been talked to about the maybe different interpretation. But they're real picky, and maybe that's good sometimes. I don't know, to prevent injuries, but I didn't see that play then. But in any event, the Bearcats, with the penalty, something that they don't like. That's the 10th penalty, I believe, on the night, deep in their own territory, but they sport a 28-0 lead, 6:28 to go in the 3rd quarter of play.
Ball on the 9-yard line, the Bearcats' own 9-yard line, 1st down and 10 from an I formation, wing right. He comes in motion to this near side. And hand off to the first man through, hole over that right side, out across the 10, up to about the 14-yard line. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 5 yards to go. And let's see, who was that on the carry? I have no idea.
I think that was Cornelius Sims carrying the ball that time, Bob.
Okay. 2nd down and about 5, maybe 5.5. The ball at about the 14-yard line of the Bearcats. Resting halfway between the 2 hash marks. Up they come. Slot formation setting up to the right side. Right end split way across the field. Break the backs in from the I, and it's going to hand it off over that right side to Amos. And Amos, Joe, is fixing to go, but a great tackle there by an ElDorado Wildcat player who kept Marcus Amos from really hitting upfield.
Well, you were right. That was an excellent tackle, and that was, again, another one of those what-if plays because he was about to take it for big yardage, but a good job by, again, you mentioned maybe a younger team, but some very large young men out there, and they can lay the leather to you, and they did on that play, bringing up a 3rd and 5.
Well, this team is loaded down with sophomores. In fact, most of the starters are sophomores. Their quarterback's a sophomore. You know, so many of these defensive and offensive linemen are sophomores. So they're going to be a team to be reckoned with up here in Arkansas for the next few years. Bo Meeks drops back plenty of time. Sailed it downfield. It's going to be incomplete. He had 2 would-be receivers out there. J.P. Love reached up, and also Marcus Roan, who was behind J.P. Love, so they're not really sure who it was intended for. It's going to bring up 4th down, though, and Matt Willis will kick tonight.
You're absolutely right, Bob. That was in the area of both Love, who reached high, and a little low for Marcus Roan. I'm guessing he was throwing it out to Marcus Roan as JP had 2 defenders on him, but that brings up the 2nd punt on the night for Matt Willis, the 2nd of the year. The first one, a successful 41-yard punt, and the Bearcats recovered the fumble, but this one deep in his own territory.
4:53, and the clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Matt standing back around his 2-yard line. Big rush coming, and flags are down, and the punt is caught at midfield, heading back downfield and to about the 46-yard line of Ruston. It's going to bring up 1st down there. And we've got flags back down at the 9-yard line of the Bearcats. Let's see, we've got procedure called against Ruston. So you'd think, Joe, that ElDorado will just forget this penalty. No, apparently they're going to make him kick it again because Ruston is heading back downfield.
Maybe that was one of those penalties before the snap.
Nope, they're saying it's declined.
All right.
So that's where ElDorado will put it in play. 1st and 10 at the Bearcat 46-yard line. The penalty declined.
Bob, incidentally, Willis was rushed very heavily that time. He did a good job of getting the punt off. A good punt. I didn't quite get the yardage on it. I believe it was about 35 yards. And 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on the Bearcat 46.
Two big running backs behind Jason Evans, the quarterback. And as we said also, now Evans is a sophomore. Slot set to the left side. Give it to the first man through the fullback, and he's going to be knocked down and a fumble on the play. Let's see, a huge pile up there, and the officials dive in, and Ruston has got it. Ruston has just got the football back at their own 46-yard line. We'll have to wait till they all unpile, Joe, to see who's got it down there.
Bob, that's got to be disheartening to the Wildcats. That's only their 7th offensive snap in this second half, and they fumbled the ball. And after the Bearcats, deep in their own territory, had to punt it away, like I said, a good job by Willis getting it out. They recovered the fumble and take over 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. 4 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play, and on top, 28-0.
First down and 10. Bo Meeks is dropping back. Bo Meeks has got a man wide open at the 45, to the 40, cuts upfield to the 35, falls forward to the 33-yard line. Big pass play from Bo Meeks to number 20, Derek Moreland.
And Bob, Derek Moreland was wide open.
Wide open.
There was nobody within 10 yards of him. Not sure I liked the way he was holding that ball outside a little bit. Maybe fumble bait, but that was a 21-yard pass play. Meeks to Moreland and brings the ball inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats.
And here they come. First down at the 33-yard line. Wing set right, and the left end split out. And now Bo Meeks is going to send Dean out to the right side. Ball on this near hash, and Bo hands off to the first man through, down to about the 31-yard line. Gain of a couple, and that's going to be all on that first down carry. And that was Cornelius Sims. 3:30 and counting left here in this third period. A Bearcat lead of 28-0.
Meeks gets the call from the sidelines, trots onto the field. The Bearcats in control, wanting to score, but also run a little bit of clock off as we have 3:15 and counting to go in the third quarter of play. On top, 28-0.
Same formation. Send Dean far out to the right side. Wing set right, and the left end split out. Meeks dropping back, setting up a screen pass to Sims. Sims cuts toward the middle of the field. He's to the 20. Sims goes down around the 16-yard line, and we've got flags down and maybe a face mask penalty. Ed, did you see it? First down and 10, and the penalty is stepped off. And let's see where they're going to mark the ball. Finally, at the 8-yard line, a face mask penalty against ElDorado. It's going to bring up first down and goal to go Bearcats at the Wildcat 8-yard line. Maybe closer to the 9. 2:57 and the clock moving now. Here come the Bearcats to the line. First down and goal. And send a man out to the right side and put a man on the wing to that side. Victor Robinson is in the backfield for the Bearcats. Give it to Dean over this left side. Dean to the 5, Dean to the 4, and it's going to be second and goal to go at the Wildcat 4-yard line.
Bob, Victor Robinson buried his defender in a great block, and I'm telling you, on that running play by Dean, he lowered his shoulder at about the 6-yard line and wasn't going to take the easy way out and picked up another tough 2 or 3 yards. Good job of running that time by Mwalamu Dean.
So many running backs at the disposal of Bo Meeks. You never know who they're going to send at you on one play and then follow with another. Put the right end split out. A wing to the right side. Robinson's still in there. Robinson's going to get it. Robinson's going to score, but hold it. We've got flags down again. Victor Robinson in for the touchdown from 4 yards out, but flags are on the ground. And a procedure penalty called against the Ruston Bearcats.
Looked like some movement on the right side of the line by the Bearcats. Again, shooting themselves in the foot. You can't tell it by the score, but the Bearcats have been penalized a lot tonight. I'll get you that stat in just a minute.
Well, we've got Victor Robinson in there at one of the running back positions. We've also got Josh Manning in at a tight end position now. 2:02 showing on the clock, 28-0 Bearcats, and threatening again. And we've got it second down and goal to go at the Wildcat 8-yard line. Second and goal at the Wildcat 8. Here comes Bo Meeks into the huddle. Now he's going to break them out. Let's see where he sends everyone. He'll send Marcus Roan out to the right side, put a man on this wing to this near side. That's Moreland. And turns, and we'll give it to Dean. Dean hunting for room inside, and he's going to go down to about the 3-yard line, maybe closer to the 2-yard line. It'll bring up third and goal to go at that point on the running from Dean inside the 5 down to the 2.
Bob, I dare say the Bearcats have gotten a lot of their offensive yardage moving back up the field after penalties and going forward again. The Bearcats have been penalized 11 times for 123 yards tonight.
Oh, man, and they had 30 yards the entire game last week. It is third and goal to go at the 2-yard line. Wing set right, everyone else in tight. Give it to Victor Robinson. Robinson's going to go down right around the line of scrimmage. May not have gained a yard. May not have gained nothing. It'll be fourth and goal to go at the Wildcat 2.
Bob, he never got a clean handle on the ball. He didn't receive the handoff cleanly. I don't know why, but he bobbled it for just a second. That was enough to allow the Wildcat defenders to close in. And as you said, that brings up a fourth and goal on, let's call it the 2-yard line.
Okay, big play right now. 28-0 Bearcat lead. Full house backfield. Everyone in tight behind Bo Meeks. And Bo gives over this left side for the touchdown. And that is number 20 scoring, Derek Moreland. It is Ruston 34, ElDorado nothing with 47 seconds left here in the third.
Well, they're resilient. They may get some penalties, but they come right back, and they did it again. Good blocking on that left side. And the Bearcats open up a 34-0 commanding lead. 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. The Wildcats have only run 7 offensive plays in this entire third quarter, only 23 in the entire game, and Willis is set to kick.
Well, as Ed's been saying, this defensive unit has got to be a tired group of young men right now. The kick is up in the air, and it's perfect as they come back upfield. It's Ruston 35, ElDorado nothing. 47 seconds to play in the third.
And Josh Manning back on the field to kick off. Bob, that last drive was 54 yards. 8 plays, took 3 minutes, 42 seconds off the clock. Capped off by Moreland 2-yard run. The point after was good. And here comes the adventure.
And Josh has got it the way he likes it, laying flat on the ground. And here it comes. And where it goes, nobody knows. It bounces around at the 30, taken there to the 35, heading back upfield and going to be hit and knocked down around the 42-yard line by a host of Ruston Bearcat defenders. ElDorado will put it in play, 1st and 10 on the return by James Dunn.
And Bob, as you mentioned, the way he likes it last year, that's the first time this year that he has not used the tee. Last year, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Josh would kick off not using the tee most of the time. Every now and then he would, but again, the adventure continues when Josh kicks off. That ball must have spun for about 55,000 times before it finally hit the ground.
41-yard line is where they mark it of ElDorado. 1st down and 10. Here they come. Right end split out. Wing set far out to the left side. The ball on this near hash. And a handoff to the fullback. First man through. He bucks that line over the left side out across the 45 up to around the 49-yard line. Hustling upfield is Demetrius Calloway, a 222-pound junior.
And, Bob, you can see the difficulty that the Wildcats have as the Bearcats have some second-teamers in there now. I see Zach Yates standing in there getting the calls defensively for the Bearcats, but ElDorado is not a passing team, and there's no way they're going to come back on this unless they have some big breaks, and that's the end of the third quarter, Bob.
End of the three here in ElDorado, where our score, Ruston 35, ElDorado nothing. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat Football. All set to start to play here the fourth and final period, and there goes that sound again. It's at the Wildcat 48-yard line. Second down and about 3 yards to go for the Wildcats. From this near hash mark, wide out to the left side, and Evans pitches back to his tailback. He's got first down yardage and more as Callaway hustles upfield and then down into Ruston territory at the Bearcat 43.
Bob, that's the first down of the second half for the Wildcats. In that third quarter, they only had 8 offensive plays, 8 yards passing, 10 yards rushing, no first downs. Their first down of the second half as they moved the ball to Bearcat territory, 1st and 10 on the Bearcat 43-yard line. 11:47 to go in the ball game.
35-0 our score. From an I formation, right end split out, and handed to the fullback, and he is hit immediately, may lose a yard, maybe 2 yards, back out to the 44-yard line. And this defensive unit has looked outstanding here in this second half. The whole third quarter is now starting the fourth.
You got Kitty right there. Mark Kitty home is too good with CJ in there. Says we got to straight the outside of that halfback. Too good.
Second down and 12. Second and 12 at the Bearcat 44-yard line. And a pitch back to Callaway. He's got running room around this near side and is going to bull his way down to the Ruston 34-yard line before he's going to be put on the ground there by Chad Thompson. Chad Thompson, it'll bring up third down, a couple of yards to go.
Bob would try to call a couple of the numbers. Dedrick Cheney in there on defense for the Bearcats. Trotter Hunt going out into a defensive backfield position, replacing Corey Mason. And as you mentioned a moment ago, Chad Thompson seeing some action again. He saw some in the first half. The Wildcats have the ball third down, and we'll call it 2 on the Ruston 34-yard line.
Here they come. Third down and 2. Huge play in this football game to see if ElDorado can put some points on the board. From an I formation, left end split out. Give it to the fullback. He's hit immediately, but he may have fallen forward. Well, no, he's going to be shy of a first down. Josh Manning was there along with Zach Yates for that Ruston defensive unit.
And Bob, Josh really punished him along with Yates. That brings up a 4th and short. Obviously, they'll go for it.
4th down and short, as Joe said. The ball at the Ruston 33-yard line. And here we come. 10-16 to play here in this football game. 35-0 our score. The Bearcats, it's been all Bearcats here tonight. 4th down for the Wildcats from an I formation. And pitch back. How Evans got that pitch away, I don't know. But he did, as he had 4 Bearcats on his back. And he gets the pitch away to number 41, Jeff Turner. And just enough yardage for the first down. 10 minutes to play. Actually, 10 minutes and 2 seconds. And Ed, this may be the best chance ElDorado's had tonight for some points on the board. It's 1st and 10 at the Bearcat 31-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Bearcat 31. The clock moving. 9:50 to play in the football game. Here comes ElDorado from an I formation, wing out to the right, left end split out to this near side, the ball on the far hash, and give it off to the tailback. He slips and slides, gets away from a couple of would-be tacklers, and one more would-be tackler, and gets inside the Ruston 30-yard line to about the 29. And that's where ElDorado will put it back in play. Second down, and about 7 yards to go. 2nd and 7 at the Bearcat 28-yard line is where they've got it marked now. 9:18 to play in this football game. Ruston up by a score of 35-0. And here come the Wildcats. I formation, put a man in the slot to this near side with the left end split out. Evans, the quarterback. Evans, and this is going to be a quick opener for a touchdown as ElDorado has put points on the board from Demetrius Alloway on a 28-yard run. And a big burst of speed, and that big fella, as big as he is, can really run it. He's a 222-pound junior, and it's 35-6, the Bearcats over the Wildcats. And Finch will attempt the point after.
Bob, it hasn't happened much, but there was a big hole, and he didn't need much. And as you said, for a big guy, he took off almost with sprinter-like speed, and quickly the Wildcats pick up their first touchdown and first score of the night.
Okay, wait for the point after. Here's a snap. It's placed. It's kicked. It's blocked. It's blocked and no good. A big play by Michael Green breaking in to block it. So with 8:56 to play in the game, it's Ruston 35, ElDorado 6, a 60-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat football.
As the ElDorado Wildcats have just scored for the first time of the night on a touchdown run, the point after was blocked by Michael Green coming in from the right side. So our score, with 8 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in the game, is Ruston 35, ElDorado 6. Here's the onside kick.
And it does not work as the Bearcats have recovered up at their own 48-yard line. So that's where they'll put it in play, as the Bearcats had all receivers up there, and I believe Trotter Hunt was the one who got it, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 48, up 35-6.
New quarterback, Bob. T.J. Bryan replacing Meeks. Bryan, a 5'11", 165-pound senior. An excellent quarterback. If you've seen him play in JV and freshman ball, he's a very good quarterback. He just happens to be in the shadow of a fellow named Meeks.
That's all. First down and 10. Here come the Bearcats, and we'll see a lot of new players from now on. Let's see, also coming in, well, this is Marcus Amos. He gets around the corner to the 50. He's going to be knocked down around the ElDorado 45-yard line. That's where to go, mark it at the Wildcat 45. It'll bring up second down, about 3 yards to go.
Bob, I love to call this out when it happens, but again, to show you the versatility of the Bearcats this year, Randall Anders and Ray Peace, both defensive line starters on the offensive line in this series for the Bearcats.
Well, as we've said last week and so far tonight, you never know where they'll hit you from and with whom, because they have so many weapons. Okay, 2nd and 3. Give it off to the first man through. And this is number 23 on the carry, Scotty Roan. And Scotty's going to be close to another Bearcat first down around the 42-yard line of the Wildcats. And they may have to stretch the change out here just to make sure. 8:03, and the official stops the clock to take that long look, and nope, they're going to bring the change across.
Bob, I think he made it by about an inch.
All right. Boy, that's getting it down there, isn't it?
I'm 1 for 1 this year. This is only the second game. This will shut me up for a while, but I think he barely made it.
Okay, Ed is easing his way up toward that way. So, Ed, take a look at it for us, and what do we look like? You were...
Bob, I was 2 inches off.
No, you were 5. 4. 4 inches off. Ed said he was 3 inches short. You said have it by an inch. Okay, third down coming.
Well, to err is human, to forgive divine. 8:03 to go in the ball game. The Bearcats on top, 35-6, and as you said, third down and 3 inches to go with T.J. Bryan at quarterback.
Here they come to the line. And sitting out on that left end position on the far side over there is big number 81, Josh Manning. Full house backfield, everyone in tight on this third down and 3 inches to go. And turns and gives it, and first down yardage, and breaks a tackle and gets inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line goes Kenny Wright. And Joe, he was just the snap of a finger away from going all the way.
You're right, Bob, and as I'm looking out on the field, I see Corey Mason, Josh Manning. In this series, there have been about 5 or 6 defensive starters playing on the offense for the Bearcats.
Josh comes out on a first down and 10 at the Wildcat 35-yard line, 7:43 and counting left in this ball game. And the Bearcats up, and here comes the quarterback keeper inside the 30, fighting for yardage down to around the 27-yard line as T.J. Bryan keeps the ball that time and just does it all by himself.
Good block downfield by Todd DeMoss from his guard position that time. DeMoss, a 6'1", 225-pound junior, leading the way. And again, T.J. Bryan, as Bob said, on the keeper with good yardage, bringing up a second and let's call it about 2 yards to go on the ElDorado 27-yard line. 7 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the game.
And the clock running right along. 35-6, Bearcat lead, trying to add even more. And Bryan gives it to the second man through. This is a fullback, and he is fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I mean, ElDorado Wildcat players just kept hitting him and kept hitting him, but he kept fighting for an extra yard. But he got it back to the line. Corey Mason on the carry. It'll bring up third down and 3 yards to, well, he may have lost a half yard. Third, we'll still call a very, very long 3. They need to get to the 25-yard line for the first down. He's at the 28. 6.5 minutes left in this football game. 6:30 and counting. 35-6, the Bearcats on top. It's been all Bearcats all night long. It could be much, much worse than what it is right now. Handed to the right side. Big hole. And down to the 5-yard line goes number 42, Corey Mason on the carry. And Ed, what you got for us down there?
33 base.
Well, it was a big hole there, and Victor Robinson is in, and flags are going to go down, and I believe he knows it too, Josh was about a half second too early on that one.
Well, he was set to maim the defender across the way, and he just started a little early, and that's going to cost the Bearcats 5.
And Josh knew that. If you see the replay coming up next week, Josh turned around immediately and started clapping and saying, oh, it's my fault, it's my fault. Well, they move it back 5 yards to the 10. It's first and goal to go now from the 10. 5:55 and counting. And let's see, the officials are going to take, well, ElDorado's called for a timeout. So we've got a break in action with 5:52 left in this football game. It's Ruston 35, ElDorado 6. A 30-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
As ElDorado has called a timeout, the Bearcats are on top 35-6. The Bearcats have the ball first in, well, I can't tell. It looks like it's first and goal just inside the 10-yard line. And let's see what the Bearcats do with T.J. Bryan at the helm, the backup quarterback for the Bearcats. Meeks sat down a little while ago, as this has been all Ruston in the, well, really since about toward the end of the first quarter. The Wildcats did something offensively early, but not since then. And here come Bryan and Green, Mason, and Victor Robinson at the running backs.
Okay, here we go, and give it off to Kenny Wright over that left side, following a blocker, pushing his way forward to the 5-yard line, and now a big wad of humanity rolls backwards, but they're going to call his forward progress to the 5. It'll be second and goal to go at the 5-yard line.
Bob, I don't know where Victor Robinson is more dangerous as a running back, as a carrier or a blocker.
A blocker.
He's very tough inside there, and a good job that time by Kenny Wright.
35-6, 5:25 and counting left in this football game from ElDorado here tonight. Kenny Wright, Victor Robinson, and Corey Mason in the backfield. Wright goes in motion. Pitch it back to Victor Robinson. He's going to head toward that left side, and he's going to score. It's Ruston 41, ElDorado 6 with 5:08 to play.
Bob, he basically trotted in. He got hit right at the goal line and stepped into the end zone, but he looked like he was looking to hit somebody before he scored. He was going to score first, but he was looking like he wanted to punish somebody, but didn't have to, as the Bearcats did a good job of blocking out on that left side of the line, and they go on top 41-6, and Willis, I think it's Willis, will be going in to attempt the point after.
Nope.
We have a little variation.
It looks like Scotty Roan. Scotty Roan is going to attempt the point after out of the hold of Hunt. It's placed, and, well, Scotty had to wait Hunt placed it, and it was a little late getting down there, so it looked like everybody gathered at the football that time.
He just kind of stopped, kind of like, I really don't want to kick it. Can we have overs? But couldn't do it, and the ball was no good.
He didn't get a mulligan on that one. 5:08 to play left in this football game. It's Ruston 41, ElDorado 6. Let's take a 30-second break now. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
Training will provide the entertainment on the kickoff. That was a 52-yard drive by the Bearcats. 8 plays, 3:48 off the clock. The Bearcats scored on a Victor Robinson 5-yard run. The point after no good by Roan. And here we go, Bob. Let me see you call this one.
Okay, the ball laying flat on the ground, and the ball is sailing around and finally goes to the ground at about the 30, and an ElDorado player jumps on top of it just as a Bearcat sails over the top of him.
Bob, that was Derek Cheney downfield providing excellent coverage, and another split second, and he makes a great play. But that shows the good hustle of these special teams by the Bearcats. They've shown that all night. We haven't had an opportunity to call that very much, but a lot of good effort by the Bearcats on their special teams, and a 41-6 lead with 5:06 helps show that.
Okay, ElDorado with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line, and here they come. Ball on the far hash. Put the left end out for the wing on the right. From an I formation behind behind Evans. And a big hole once again comes this big fullback out to the 45-yard line. Demetrius Callaway on the carry. And another big run of about 15 yards. Upfield, it's 1st and 10, ElDorado at their own 45. Well, they mark it at the 46-yard line. So he had 2 big runs for that big fellow right there, and he can really burst them out. First and 10 for their own 46. Bearcats up 41-6, and here they try it again with Callaway this time. He's going to be knocked down right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 4:16 and counting left in the football game. 2nd down and 10, ElDorado at their own 46-yard line. And more faces continue to pile in on the field for this Ruston defensive unit. 2nd down and 10, the ball at the Wildcat 46-yard line. Clock running, under 4 minutes to play now. It's been all Ruston here tonight. 41-6 from an I formation. Evans dropping back. Evans puts it downfield. It's complete at the 45-yard line, and he's going to be down right there as he caught it while on his knees. 3rd down and about a yard to go. 3rd down, about a yard for the Wildcats. The ball at the Bearcat 45-yard line. 3.5 minutes to play. 3.5 minutes to play in this football game. 41-6. And it could have been much worse, as the Bearcats missed about 3 great opportunities in the first half. 1 on a 1st and goal when they fumbled. 3rd down, a little over a yard, and Evans gives it to the tailback, and he is knocked down back at the 50-yard line. A big defensive play there, Joe.
Bob, Patrick Ramsey was taking some snaps a moment ago, and Ed's got some good news after the JV game the other night. Ed?
Well, that's good news for Bearcat fans, and here's Evans, and he is going to be back downfield at the 32-yard line on a 4th and 5 play, and Josh Manning was after him, and he wasn't about to let him get away, Joe.
Bobby got that right paw on that jersey, and he didn't have much angle on him, but he just wrestled him to the ground. Like you said, there's no way that Josh was going to let him go. And Patrick Ramsey onto the field for the Bearcats. Like Ed said, we thought he had a serious injury the other night. It's not so serious as he's onto the field, and probably the quarterback future for the Bearcats.
1st and 10, the ball set up. They mark it at the 36-yard line of the Wildcats. Ramsey at quarterback, gives it off over this right side. This is one of the junior varsity players, Jeremy Brooks, number 24. who had an outstanding fourth quarter last Friday night against Greenville, Mississippi, and comes right in and picks up 6 yards on that first carry.
Bob Brooks is a hard runner, and he showed it again on that particular play. Brian trotting onto the field for the Bearcats now, quarterback.
It's showing 1 minute, 50 seconds, and the clock continues to roll along here left in this football game. Second down and about 3. T.J. Bryan back in at quarterback. T.J. Bryan, well, he was trying to get it off on a little reverse, and he and the player ran right head on into each other. That's Carter. Carter, number 25, DePaul Carter. It'll be third down and about 6 yards to go. The ball back out at the 32-yard line of the Wildcats. 1 minute 19 left in this football game. 41-6, the Bearcats on top. And now Patrick Ramsey back in. Patrick Ramsey back in at quarterback on this third down play. And Patrick Ramsey's going to roll out. He's going to pass. He's got a man wide open down there. Low, and he lost the ball at the 3-yard line. Well, he looked like Joey was going to get it. He had a defender in front of him, but he still had one more shot at it and couldn't quite grab it.
That was J.P. Love, who was double covered, but Ramsey threw an excellent pass. He's got, like we said, almost an effortless, very smooth motion, and he showed it on that play. A good pass, just not to be, and Brian trots onto the field. They'll go for it on fourth down as the ball rests on the ElDorado 32-yard line. Exactly 1 minute left to go in the game.
And a fourth down play for the Bearcats. Fourth down and 6, exactly as Joe said, 1 minute left in this football game. 41-6, the Bearcats leading. And flags go down as Brian gets the pass away. He's going to have yardage. Well, no, he may not have yardage for the first down. He is down around the 25-yard line. But keep in mind, we've got flags down across the way. And that used up 9 seconds off the clock. 51 seconds left.
That was Kenny Wright on the reception on the screen left, and let's see what the flag is with 51 seconds, as Bob mentioned. 41-6, the Bearcats have this one for victory number 2 of the 1994 season. Looking forward to entertaining Bird next week, Bob.
At home. Don't forget that. The Ruston Bearcats will be back in the friendly confines of James Field next Friday night. So we certainly hope to see you there, hope to see a big crowd, because remember what happened in Shreveport last year against Bird.
Bob, Bo Meeks has just gone past Dan Childress for the number 2 passing yardage in Ruston High School football history tonight with 3,601 yards on his career. He's just gone into the number 2 slot, all-time passing in the history of Ruston High School.
Brad Laird is the last one in front of him right now, and the way Bo is going, that record will fall before this season comes to a close. Well, the penalty was against Ruston. ElDorado declines it, and they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line with 51 seconds to play in this football game. 41-6, the Bearcats on top of the Wildcats. First down and 10, ElDorado at their own 27-yard line. And they come to the line with Jason Evans as your quarterback. Jason Evans still in at quarterback. And Evans is going to keep it, and he's going to be dropped hard around the 28-yard line on a quarterback keeper around this left side, and just absolutely nothing was there. Let's see, we see Rhett Reeves getting up out there from the bottom of that pile, and the clock continues to run. We may not see another snap in this football game, probably not. We're down to 12, 11, 10 seconds and counting, and it's been all Bearcats here tonight as they'll walk away with a win of 41-6. We'll get one more snap away on the final play of the game and throw it as far as you can throw it, and it's going to be intercepted down there, and that is number 21 on the interception, Dedrick Cheney. And this football game is over, and the Ruston Bearcats have defeated the ElDorado Wildcats by a score of 41-6 here tonight in ElDorado. It was all Ruston from the get-go as they took the opening kickoff and drove it downfield for an early 7-0 lead, and they held on to that 7-0 lead until about midway in the second period, and then they just completely turned it on, and it was all Ruston here in the second half as their defense took over, allowing the lone touchdown.
charge for illegal procedure, charge to the Rams.
Go, Ted!